everybody, welcome to the live. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna get into Black Adam. This is gonna be an off-screen review because I'm not gonna do a reaction. It's only 2 songs. Wow. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay. I just couldn't do it because this movie was such a letdown, and I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon along with the public opinion of blaming The Rock. I just don't see it. I feel like he should not be to blame. Now, I do agree with his recent remarks of saying, that it takes guts to produce something and fail. It does. I'm a firm believer that nothing beats a fail than a try. All my people that know what that means. So he did what he was supposed to do, in my opinion. He showed up. To me, if we're really gonna place blame, place it on writing and editing. But let's get into Black Adam itself first. If you have not watched this movie, you can watch it for free if you have a subscription with HBO Max, okay? And the movie is about a DC comic character. I did try to do a little bit of reading. It seems to be that they did kind of stick to the script of the comic character. However, I think there was quite a few outside factors that contributed into the disappointment. And let me just get into the plot of the movie first, okay? Black Adam is about an Egyptian, and I believe his name is Teth, because I watched this movie last year. 2 weeks ago last year, actually. Teth Adam is his name. He comes from Kahndaq. Or is it Kahndaq? Kahndaq. And what has happened is, in the BC days, it was this dude who created this crown. The crown is supposed to be all evil, and whoever possesses it with evil, of course, will not destroy the world, will turn everyone at his mercy. Okay? Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get my stuff together because everything just got out of whack for some reason. Oh, here we go. Now, this movie came out last year in October. It grossed $392 million worldwide, against the budget of $190 to $260 million. So it did recoup some, not a lot. According to the article, it says that it was a loss because of the marketing and distribution costs added to that. It was a box office bomb. Okay. Oh, let me correct myself. In the 2600 BC days, so it would be 5,000 years ago from present day. That's really what it was. And now in the present day, you have the Intergang, who is supposed to be like this corrupt organization who just runs the town. And the reason why is because, of course, they're looking for the crown. I believe the crown of Sabbac is the powers of Shazam gave Adam his powers. Alright? Now, at the beginning, we see this little boy rebel. And in the 2600 days to take down Akhenaten, who is the creator of the crown of Sabbac. Okay? Now, there are descendants still living of King Akhenaten that, want to find a crown and finish the job of destroying the world. Okay? But the mother There's this lady. Trying to find her name. Adriana and her son is trying to overturn the inner gang, and she has her little son who possesses the same kind of spirit as the little boy in the beginning of the movie who tried to take down Octon. Okay, and between them two and this whole like Justice Society, who's supposed to be another knockoff Justice League, by the way, we got Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Cyclone, and Atom Smasher, who show up to not only stop Atom, but I guess help with this inner gang issue that they find out. Long story short, child, they stop the Sabbath Crown from being summoned. The justice system, and they take down Octon and his descendants. And at the very, very end, Superman shows up and he like, hey, we need to talk. Oh, and Waller also threatens Atom because she wants him to stay in Kahndaq. Like, he can't go nowhere but in your city, bro. Don't think you could just come all over the planet and do your little superhero stuff, because we don't look at you as a superhero, because supposed to be anti-hero, by the way, Black Adam. Okay, that's the movie. If you scratching your head going, huh, don't worry. You know, I was too for a moment. I do have a little visual for y'all. Y'all know I try to keep a visual. So let me just also wrap up with this movie too. So it gives me, this movie's vibe gives me Lord of the Rings meets the Scorpion King. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Now, this comic that you see in front of you is a 2007 version of Black Adam, but Black Adam was actually introduced in 1945. All right, it was introduced, I think, by a company named Fowler, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. I didn't write the name down of the comic owner, who was like a division of Marvel. Wait, hold on, y'all. I want to get this. I want to get this right, because I read it and I didn't write it down. And I should have wrote it down. Okay, no. It was published by DC Comics, created by Otto Binder, and it came out in December of 1945. Oh, I was right. Now, it's the Fawcett Comics, the Marvel Family comic book in 1945 is when American Comics produced Teth/Theo Adam. But it was published by DC Comics. You know, they was combined back in the day, that whole history. If you want to go read up about that, go ahead, back in the 1940s. But that's when that damn character was first. Since then, it has been transformed numerous times. And this version is supposed to be like the rebirth of Black Adam, okay? And I get it. I think they was just trying to turn him into this super villain and be really a good guy, which is cute. I get it. But, you know, this character, Pierce Brosnan, he played Dr. Fate. Gave me very much Gandalf vibes, okay? I just felt like I was watching The Lord of the Rings with this whole glowing crown and anybody who touches it and the whole, you know, possession to do wrong with it. I was like, am I watching Precious again? My Precious and the whole ring? Is we going down this road again with this story of Black Adam? And at the end, the big reveal that the actual little boy in the beginning that I mentioned that tried to take down Octon was killed. And it was his father who was granted the powers of the Shazam Council and became Teth Adam. So the father is like thousands of years old and has been had been sleeping, but look like The Rock. The father does not look like The Rock. The father is an old Egyptian man, but with these superhero powers, he's The Rock. There you go. That was like the whole big dun 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 of this movie, and it was very underwhelming. When I finally saw it, I can't admit I did go, oh. But right after that, I literally asked myself, why am I watching this? It just didn't feel climactic, didn't feel like a yes. It didn't feel like that. It didn't give me that. It gave me very much predicted movie at the end. Everybody gonna be happy and everybody go back to their home and the people of Kahndaq can live freely. Yay. That's what I got. So unfortunate. Now let's talk about these outside factors. I mentioned that this movie released in October. And I really feel like when I was watching it, why did they not release this in the summer? It probably would have had more impact with the audience and, especially kids, if it was not during school season and in the fall. I feel like our moods change with the season. In the summer, we want to be outside. We want to be excited. We want action. And it could have been, who knows? It could have been just a tad bit more successful if it came out in the summer. That's just my opinion. Okay. But I also feel like this because I am seeing a trend when it comes to DC movies lately. And I read it in all of the articles about how higher up management, whoever is in the big office of the DC movie section of the company reviews the drafts of these movies and dictates what we see. I mean, I think it was $140 million or $40 million. No, it was $40 million in reshoots. I could just imagine why. So I feel like the DC movies are made for the round table of big wigs at the company. I don't feel like these movies are really made for the audience. They don't give a shit. They look at the movie and they decide if they like it or not. Forget what we want to see. And I feel like if they were to just loosen up the reins a little bit and just go in the direction that is intended by the director it probably could be, hey, we could like it. We could actually like one of your damn movies instead of watching it through your eyes. And I'm saying your eyes to whoever's listening to this, to whoever is the person who is the green lighter. You know what I'm talking about. That green like this, that's gonna watch the draft of this and watch each step of this as it goes and says, no, you need to do this over again. No, you need to take this out. I think you guys should reshoot this because I'm not feeling it. But he's speaking from only his point of view, not from. It's weird. It's weird. I mean, the way that this was supposed to be a superhero, but a superhero that just didn't care, made it seem like, why should we care? Okay? Your mood is set through the tone of your hero, even if it is supposed to be an anti-villain. The bulk of the film is Adam. We don't want to be depressed like Adam. We don't want to feel like, well, F it, why should we watch him save the world if he doesn't even care about the world he lives in? Then you got Dr. Fate and Hawkman, which I guess was supposed to be our heart, quenching moments, just tugging at our heartstrings. I'm sorry, I just didn't feel it for them two either. I didn't. I mean, hey, I was like, hey, if the old man wants to sacrifice his life, let him go ahead. It's time. It didn't move me. Okay, so in an article that discusses reasons why this movie was a disappointment, it was revealed that a huge chunk of the film's budget went into special effects. Granted, let's talk about that. I was not impressed. What did they invest in? Because I felt like they went the easy route of making most of the shots in the damn dark just to show off his lightning. So you got away with some things there that was like the cheap way to not the cheap way, but you know what I mean, the easy way. So, outside of being poorly written, a character that we really don't hear, we really didn't hear about it. If you were a comic buff, yes, you would know who Black Adam is. If you were not, and you're just a person who follows what is released in the movie theaters, you would have definitely been disconnected. Like, who the hell is Black Adam and why should I watch Black Adam? I don't even think they came out with any cartoons before this about Black Adam. Now, Black Adam was mentioned in Shazam, but it again was mentioned. It didn't stick in the memories of people who watched that movie because heard that sucked too, and I never watched Shazam. There you go. So some of the reasons it failed, according to this article, was lack of originality. In this article, there's so many instances in the movie that were almost identical to other superhero movies. I agree. Again, Scorpion King. I'm just saying. The dynamic between Teth Adam and Amon, I did not want to go there because Terminator Judgment Day is my favorite Terminator movie, and I did not want to compare the two, but I did kind of sense that they were taking some notes from that movie. I'm just saying. Didn't hit though. Okay? Black Adam included a slow-mo scene after Quicksilver did it twice. Superman and The Flash did it. Justice League overdid it. Let's just be honest here. Okay? So, elements such as Eternium. Now, Eternium is an element that was used to build the Crown of Sabbath. Very much like what vibranium is to Wakanda. Well, Eternium is that same thing, except for it's like a kryptonite that they grow on Kahndaq. Whew. Honey, can we get the parallels? You see what yeah, I get it. Poorly written script, of course, along with a heavy resemblance to previously done superheroes. Black Adam suffers from a poorly written script. Viewers were told that the wizards hid the Crown of Sabbath, but where did we find it? Why was it casually floating above two rocks in a cave when Adriana discovered it and had no problems being able to grab it? On top of that, the movie had a lot of video game level dialogues. You know, my powers are not a gift but a curse. I kneel before no one. Fate does not make mistakes. As well as a lot of other one-liner taglines. All these dialogues echo the same sentiment. A fantasy adventure plot. Such as what? The Lord of the Rings. I knew I wasn't the only one on this earth that watched that movie and felt like I was Tolkien. I'm just saying. Believe that The Rock money and effort on looking like Black Adam and making the effects look good. Had the production invested into the writing, perhaps the movie could have performed a little better. Another reason, a passive protagonist. I can agree with that as well. The fans never got a protagonist. in this movie that became the driving force of the film. Black Adam would not have woken up if Adriana didn't know about him. And either waking him up, he was just floating around wanting to, which is true. He spent more time fighting against reasons why he should help up to the very end. Ishmael then connects Amon to make Black Adam fight a few more bad guys. And later, if it wasn't for Dr. Fate's magical call, then he would have been stuck in Amanda Waller's underwater prison. And then. Evidently, the film had a clear case of plot pushing Black Adam forward and making him react to situations instead of the other way around. And as a result, one of the most powerful heroes, quote unquote, in the DC universe became one of the weakest. I definitely see the point in that, because again, if you're gonna write a hero, even if it's even if it's villainous, to have no motivation whatsoever into what we're looking at, again, why should your audience care? If your main character does not care, why should we? And even if he's thrown into situations where he should care, if you make those situations too obvious, then it's like, oh, come on, you know he has no choice but to act. So it could have been written to where the situations weren't so deliberate, then it could have been more believable. Now, this one is a subjective reason, but they listed it as a reason, which is The Rock with superpowers. It is commendable how much Dwayne has put into gaining his Black Adam physique. However, many would agree that the character got after that and was still The Rock with superpowers. We've already seen multiple times an extent like Jumanji and Jungle Cruise. Instead of turning Black Adam into a version of himself, it would have been nice if The Rock had gone the extra mile to turn himself into the comic. Dwayne Johnson was one of the producers of Black Adam. Oh, now that I didn't know until just now. And nobody could give him the tough love about the way he approached his role. Wow. I don't necessarily. He did a good job acting and being Black Adam, especially for someone who didn't know anything about the character before it was brought to life last year. So to see it for the first time, I don't think he did bad. I think he just didn't question what he was delivering. And maybe that's more of the issue. It's more of the fact that he didn't even think about what he was saying more than what he was doing. But hey, we all go on our job and don't question what's put in front of us. We just try our best to deliver what's put in front of us. So I still don't agree that he should take blame, even as a producer. I don't feel like he should still take blame. The pandemic and market dynamics, I already touched on that. I feel like the release date was off. I feel like also they could have took advantage of making this a non-streaming movie. Even though it did come out in theaters, and then it was like, 3 months later? No. Yes, it came out in October and it premiered on HBO Max in December. So yeah, 3 months later. I think they could have waited a little longer. But I know they were driven to do it because nobody was going to the theaters. So maybe if it was the other way around, maybe if they would have premiered it streaming on the same day, it kind of would have went over, because people would have felt more comfortable, like, oh, I already paid for this subscription, I'll watch it, versus actually leaving their homes and paying $20 or more to see it at the movie theater. I think, yeah. A massive budget to recover. This is true. $260 million is quite a feat, especially for a brand new character. even with the whole marketing of Superman, because a lot of people, if not all people, were driven to go and watch this because of the whole cameo from Henry Cavill. I know I was like, oh shit, I want to see this. Superman gonna be in it? What they got going on? Okay. Only for it to be a after credit appearance. It wasn't even in the movie. You had to sit through the post credits just to see Superman. Like, that was the ultimate letdown of the movie. Okay? Unfamiliar characters. Yes, we knew nothing of the Justice Society. I know I didn't. And again, I was not impressed. I'm just going to leave it there. Very one-dimensional villain. Always. The descendant of Octon got on my nerves. I was so glad when all that was over with. Yes, and that was the last reason of why Black Adam may have failed. It's unfortunate. It really is, but I will say this. I do see Black Adam taking off something that people look back at and watch and it not be taken so seriously. You know what I mean? Just like Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League. You know, you got two versions. I think there will always be a debate of those two versions. And I think the popularity of movies like this one, Black Adam, will blossom. You know, you just have your spurts in years and in history of certain movies. I mean, look at 80s movies. A lot of movies flopped when they first came out. I mean, bombed terribly to the point it destroyed some people's careers in the movie industry. But then fast forward in the late 90s all the way up until now in the 2000s and the 2010s, some of those 80 movies and 90 movies have gained a cult following. They have become all-time favorites, classics. They have re-emerged, and let's face it, if Sharknado can become popular, any movie at some point can become popular. So I think Black Adam has a living chance. I don't think it's all failed right here. It's just at the beginning moments, it's a bad case. Maybe later on, a day watching them again. Listen, that's all my review. My rating of this movie from Clubhouse 81 is a lovely 7 out of 10. Do I recommend you check it out on HBO Max? That is at your own risk and choice to do so. But I do believe you should watch it at least once. Don't go by just what everybody is saying. At least watch it one time on your own. Even if you just wait for it to come on TV. Watch it one time. Okay? Give it a chance. With that, I'm going to sign off from Clubhouse 81. Thank you guys for joining me on this live here on this Wednesday in Miami, January the 11th of 2023. We haven't even, it's almost 2 weeks into the new year, almost. So I'm going to get off here. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me. Also, like this video if you don't mind. Please, thumbs up. That really, really helps us out, especially on the videos, because we are still on our goal to 500. Our numbers have been stagnant, but I am keeping the faith that you will push that subscribe button, okay? Stay tuned. I'll be back this weekend for movie night. Until then, have a good Tuesday, you guys. Peace.